Welcome to Ultimate DIY, where you learn to be your own handyman. And today I'm going to show you how to take your sad shower that acts like it's crying and turn it into a powerhouse. I get asked consistently, what can I do to increase the water flow in my house? Be sure you watch to the end of this, because there's generally a problem with these shower heads, and I'm going to show you how to fix it. You're going to find in most older homes that their water flow is actually pretty good. Back in the older homes, they used copper piping. Nowadays, we're doing a lot of PEX. It's a plastic water line. You're seeing it everywhere, but there's a couple of different types. One of them is going to be a crimp, where you're going to crimp a ring around your fitting, and that makes your watertight connection. There's also one that uses an expansion ring, and you're going to expand that ring and you'll put your fitting on that way, and it clamps down over the fitting. That's going to be called Uponor, Pro PEX, PEX A. The one with the clamp is going to be called PEX B, and that's usually what you're going to find in the big box stores, and that's where I see the problems. You'll have a lot of new construction, or you'll have a lot of remodel, and they will go and use the PEX B. This is a PEX B fitting right here. This is going to be a PEX A. If you look, the size opening is much larger on the PEX A. So PEX A is really very comparable to copper. So it doesn't restrict any flow. When you go through several fittings and you're running lines and you're using PEX B and you think you're using ½ inch, because this is called ½ inch and this is called ½ inch, you're really restricting your water flow. So if you're going to use PEX B, you should up to the next size. If you would normally have a run to a shower or say a toilet that is ½ inch, go ahead and go 3/4. If you normally do your shower at 3/4 and that's what you like, then you need to go 1 inch if you're doing the PEX B. So that's one way to fix your water flow. Another way is to look through and make sure that your lines aren't really old and you've got some type of a buildup, maybe from hard water and stuff. And you can put a bag over the heads of these with some cleaner, bleach, whatever inside of it to actually help break that down. So sometimes your flow is a problem, especially in a shower, because it's clogged up, or it's clogged up in a sink. And I've seen that happen quite a few times. These new sinks, the lines are rubber, they go up inside, and if you get a lot of hard water, it builds up in there and it just doesn't have any flow. I'll go put a whole brand new unit in and it's amazing, it's great. So you might consider a water softener or some other type system that keeps that hard water down. That'll help you. So in 1992, the government actually passed a mandate that says that these showers cannot put out more than 2.5 max gallons per minute of water. Before that, it was like 5 gallons per minute. So it was a huge difference and a big cutback. And not only that, that is your max. So a lot of these little shower heads that you see, they may have a 1.5, 1.2. They're going to really greatly restrict that water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to take this off. This is a 2-piece shower head, so we're going to try both sides and we're going to see where that restrictor is, and we should be able to pull that out usually with some needle nose. If that doesn't work, I've actually had to drill them a couple of times, but most of the time you can just pull those out with a needle nose. Now keep in mind, if you're fixing to pass an inspection, chances are they're going to come in and run that and they're going to be like, that ain't going to fly, and they're going to make you change it. But if this is your own personal home, you just want more water flow, it's not hard to do. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and let's get to that. Okay guys, the main tools that you're going to probably need: a good pair of adjustable pliers, slip joint pliers, whatever you want to call them, channel locks some people call them, and you'll need some needle nose like this and a nice towel because you don't want to mar up the top. So let's go ahead and take it loose. Alrighty, so this one just pops out. Matter of fact, we will start with this one and see if there's a restrictor in this side. And this is what I mean about marring it up. If you put these grips on there right now, you're going to take off the metal. So where you're going to take it like this, Yeah, let's see if I can lock that in there. It's already coming off. Really easy. Now let's see if we see, yep, there's your restrictor right there. So what we're going to try to do, get the needle nose, and we're going to see if we can get a hold of that restrictor and just pull it out. Usually you can just kind of grab them. Let's see, there it comes already. It's pretty easy. There it is. That's your restrictor right there. So let's pull that out. We're going to put it back and we're going to test this one real quick before we mess with it. So I just set my restrictor to the side, so in case for some reason it doesn't work right or causes a problem, I can put it back. Okay, so after you get the restrictor out, we're going to put it back together and we're going to test it. Now, let's see. There we go. That's some pretty good flow right there. So that's, yeah, look at that. So there's your jet, and now that is super strong. There we go. So before it was like crying, and now it is moving. All right, guys, so I've got this one off. It's flowing really well, but you have two of them. So what will happen if you don't take the one off from the other one, it's going to go really slow, and it's going to just try to force everything through the gun. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the line attached so I don't have to undo it here. I think I can just spin it. And on that one, I just used an open-end adjustable wrench very gently so it didn't scratch anything, broke it loose. So now I can just twist this just like this. And when we get this off, we should be able to see the main restrictor in here. Let's see. There we go. And there it is. So if you look down in here, it's this blue piece way down here. That's what we want to try to pull out of there. See if I can get a hold of that with my needle nose and reach down in there and pull that out. Actually, that's our little gasket. We're going to save that. Actually, you can see it better now with the gasket out of it. And let's see if we can get a hold of it. So I'm going to go ahead and drill this out a little bit so that I can get a hold of it. You just want to make sure you get the plastic pieces out so it doesn't clog the head. There we go. Felt it go through. Let's see if we can get a hold of that. You can see the hole now. There it is. Had to drill a little bit, grab a hold of it, pull it out. It's pulled out. You can look, totally gone and open. Now you're going to want to put this one back. You're going to have the flat side up, push it back in. And how Teflon tape works, guys, is righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So you want to make sure that you're going in a right direction, clockwise. So when you go to screw that on, it doesn't unscrew it. It screws with it. So in other words, I'm going to start here like this, making sure that my Teflon tape is not in the pipe. And then I'm going to go around a couple. Just like that. I don't need a whole lot. There's already some on here, and we have the gasket. A lot of people believe that they don't need this, and they'll do it without it. And sometimes you get by, but otherwise, a lot of times you end up with a little drip, and I hate the little drip. Once I get it, it's kind of awkward with this piece down here, trying to get that line. There it goes. Sometimes you have to go backwards just a little to get it to grab and then start turning it. Just like that. And I get it about where I want it, and then I'm going to use my open-end adjustable. So a lot of people call these crescent wrenches. They're not, folks. That's a company. This is an open-end adjustable wrench. You know, there's two little teeth here. Make sure that it's nice and snug, and you won't have to worry about it taking the color off. Okay. It's definitely a lot stronger than it was. There's that one. There's the jet. That's going to be your regular strength. So if you compare that to the very beginning, guys, that's quite a bit of difference. You can see that the flow is much better. At least it's an enjoyable shower now. All right, guys, so that's all there is to it. Now, technically, a lot of times it's easier than that. First of all, you usually don't have two like I do on this one. You're going to have just one. Not too hard. Take your time, and you can get those out, and it'll increase that flow. Keep in mind, you're going to use a lot more water than you were using before because now there's no real restriction at all. So I hope this helps. We will see you guys on the next one.